Hello, hello, it's Miss Benigna, and today I will be reading Sam the Sneezing Scarecrow by Amanda KIDD and NOOR ALSHALABI. Poor Sam. All he ever wanted was to scare the pesky crows, but if he went too close to them, he'd get an itchy nose. His friends would sneak behind the birds, and then they'd holler, "Boo!" But Sam could give himself away when he'd cried out, "Ha-choo!" He never could get near enough to scare the birds away, so he left to find another job. It was the only way. He traveled down a country road and wondered what to do. He passed some birds along the way, which made him go, "Ha-choo!" He walked until he reached a farm and asked if he could help. But when the sheep tried eating him, he scurried with a yelp. So he became an astronaut. He even went to space. But bits of hay kept falling off and floating round his face. He tried to be a lifeguard, but that was a silly whim. How can you rescue people when you don't even know how to swim? He tried to pen a book to share the stories of his plight, but scarecrows have no fingers, so poor Sam couldn't write. He carried on in search of work until one November day when someone said, "Please come with us. We need a man of hay." But Sam ran off when he found out it was bonfire night. "Do not come near me with that flame. I won't be set alight." Eventually, he realized just what he had to do. "It's time I went back home again," he uttered, feeling blue. But when he reached his former field, a change was in the air. Some bigger crows had come to town, and they were hard to scare. All huddled in a corner, in a rather sorry state, his scarecrow friends were being pecked. Oh, what an awful fate! Sam crouched behind the wall to think, although he was quite scared. But when his nose began to twitch, "I've got it!" he declared. The big, mean crows puffed out their chests and strutted round the place. They laughed as they ate all the crops, right in each scarecrow's face. "Don't even try to stop us. There's nothing you can do." But in the midst of mocking them, there was a loud "Ha-choo!" The biggest crow seemed caught off guard and looked around in fright. "That sounds like Sam. He must be back," Sam's friends said with delight. "Who's Sam?" the anxious birds cried out. "We shouldn't hang around. He's got to be a dreadful beast. Just listen to that sound." "Ah-choo!" Sam's booming, mighty roar scared off the birds for good. They squawked and screeched and flapped away as quickly as they could. "Oh, Sammy," said his grateful friends, extending massive hugs. "We're happy you are back, dear friend. You saved us from those thugs." "We knew you had it in you, Sam. You truly are the best. For none of us could scare those crows. We really are impressed." From that day on, Sam always had a grin upon his face. At last he found the perfect job. At last he found his place. The end. Okay, so now we are going to play a game where we answer WH questions. Okay? All right, so let's go back and rewind. Okay. So, can you tell me who is the main character of this story? Who is the main character? Do you remember his name? Sam the Scarecrow. Now, what was the problem in this story? Do you remember what the problem was? Do you remember where Sam went first? Do you remember what he tried next? Why didn't that work? Why couldn't he be an astronaut? And what job did Sam try next? What was the problem? Why couldn't Sam be a lifeguard? Oh, and then remember what he tried next? And why couldn't he be a writer? What do scarecrows not have that made it hard for him to be a writer? Uh-oh. Remember this night in November? What did the people want to do with Sam? Do you remember where Sam went next? What was happening when Sam got home? Do you remember how Sam fixed the problem? That's right. He made a big sneeze. Good job. Let's keep going. Okay, and what did the birds do when Sam sneezed? And how did everybody feel? How did all the scarecrows feel? And how do you think the birds felt? And how about here? How do you think Sam is feeling? Okay, we're at the end again. We're going to go back and we're going to play another game. Okay, so Sam has a polka dot handkerchief. And on each page, we're going to try to find the polka dot handkerchief. And we're going to use position words to talk about where the handkerchief is. You ready to rewind again? Rewind! Okay, let's get back. Okay, so do you see the polka dot handkerchief now? Remember to use position words to tell me where it is. Don't just point. Yes, the handkerchief is in Sam's pocket. Okay, let's look again. And the handkerchief is still in Sam's pocket. Uh-oh. He lost it now. Can you tell me where the handkerchief is now? Do you see it? The white handkerchief with red polka dots on it is on the sign. Do you see the handkerchief on the sign? Oh my goodness. Do you see the handkerchief when he's on the farm? The white handkerchief with red polka dots is in the grass. And on the next page, where Sam is an astronaut, can you find the handkerchief? The handkerchief is above Sam. Okay, now you try. The handkerchief is super tiny in the first picture. Can you find it when he's trying to be a lifeguard? And there on the next page, can you find the handkerchief? All right, keep going on your own. Find that handkerchief and use position words to tell me where the handkerchief is. Okay, good job. Thanks for playing. And on this next page is some games and things that the author made. I'll show you those. And you can read those with your mama or papa. Or any big person will do just fine. Okay, thanks for playing. Bueno, bye.